happening, everybody? Boy Big Brando, and today let's talk about some of these angry comments that I be getting. And I'm not talking about complaints and shit like that, but what I am talking about is I share information about everything that I use to run my business. I talk about the heat presses I use. You guys already know that. Heat Press Nation Signature Series Signature Pro presses. I talk about the vinyl cutter I use, the Cameo Plus. I talk about the sublimation printer that I use, the Sawgrass SG500. You guys know that I use a Mac. You guys know that I design with Photoshop and Illustrator. You guys know I use transfers, and I'm always talking about Supacolor and Transfer Express and shit like that. But you guys also want to know the tables I use to fold my shirts, the tables I have to hold my heat press up, the little containers that I use to hold my t-shirts. And I'm very transparent. I'll let you guys know where I bought all this shit from. It's not a secret. But then you guys get mad at myself when you can't find the shit. I have no control over Rubbermaid not making those drop down front totes no more. You know what I mean? Containers, bins, whatever you want to call them. They're made by Rubbermaid, but I bought them, I don't know, like 8 years ago or something like that, 9 years ago. And I still have them to this day because they're cool, right? Fit t-shirts in there. They fold the fronts down. I could pull them out. When I seen them at Home Depot, I said, fuck, those would be cool to hold t-shirts. So I bought a shitload of them. But now, 9 years later, people still see me use them and they're hitting me up and like, hey, who makes those or where'd you get them from? Oh, Rubbermaid makes them. They're called drop front totes or drop front bins. They come in different sizes. I bought them from Home Depot, and then people jump on homedepot.com or they go to Home Depot or they go to Rubbermaid and they're like, bullshit, they're not even here. I don't see them. They're sold out or they don't sell them no more. I have no control over that shit. I'm letting you know where I bought them from. I bought them like 8-9 years ago. That's where I got them from. Same with these tables, right? I use these workbenches to hold my heat press and all that. And they're just, it's a 6 foot by 2 foot workbench. That's all it is. That's what it's called. It's a workbench. I went to Home Depot. I said, I need to find me a workbench to put my heat press on. I need to find me a workbench that's tall enough so I could, you know, fucking weed out vinyl and do other random shit on, fold t-shirts and all that. But same thing. I bought that shit, I don't know, 7-8 years ago. The workbench that holds my heat press, this one right here. No assembly required. The legs just fold in, they fold out. There's a little shelf in the middle. I bought it from Home Depot. I believe it was a Home Depot workbench. Like that was the brand, was Home Depot. It's like 70 bucks or some shit like that. So I tell people, yeah, I bought it from Home Depot. It was this much, called a workbench. 6 foot workbench. People look it up. Then they get mad at me because Home Depot don't make the shit no more. And I don't have no control over what Home Depot sells and makes and all that shit. That's just where I bought it. That's what it's called. Like I said, I'm very transparent on this channel. I'll tell you guys everything, but I have no control over who still makes what or who sells what. So it's not that I'm lying to you guys. It's just that I bought this shit years ago and they probably don't make it no more. Maybe motherfuckers wasn't buying these 6 foot tables. So they said, oh, we're just gonna stop making them. You know, maybe if they marketed them as fucking heat press tables, then people probably pick them up. You know what I mean? But this is all you gotta do. You just go to Home Depot, Lowe's, Harbor Freight, Sam's Club, Costco, wherever. Go online, type in workbench. Shit pops up. If you just look for table, maybe that's what it is. It's terminology is people go and just look for 6 foot table and then they only see like those the plastic foldable ones. But just look up workbench, 6 foot workbench. Shit pops up. Like the one that this camera's sitting on now, the one that I fold my t-shirts on and cut my vinyl on now, is an adjustable one. I mean, Costco, Sam's Club, Home Depot, Lowe's, they all got them. Different brands, same exact thing. This one is an adjustable one, so you can make it taller, you can make it shorter. 6 foot by 2 feet, heavy as fuck, holds heat presses, you can fold your t-shirts, cut vinyl, do all that shit on there. It's a workbench. It's made to do work on. Same thing goes for those boxes that I put my hats in, like those drop down front boxes for my hats that I show in my videos. I get those from the Container Store. But Rubbermaid also made them when they were selling those drop down totes. They also made a small one. I think they marketed towards like garden tools and other shit like that, like little hand shovels and stuff to put in there. But I used it personally to put hats in. So I show that. I show the ones that I get from the Container Store that are shoe boxes. And then people go on the Container Store's website and see that they're sold out. And then they get mad at me. So man, that shit's sold out. Where else can I buy those? Fuck, I don't know. I bought mine from the Container Store. That's what I use for my hats. When I'm out vending somewhere, it's just easier for me to grab those because they stack on top of each other. They have a drop down front. So then that way, when I'm vending out somewhere selling hats, I can just drop the front down, pull the hat out, give it to the customer. It's easy for me to do it that way. That's why I operate that way. That's why I bought those little bins. I have no control if they sell out because maybe some kid on TikTok shows that they put their shoes in there, and now you have all these kids that are into sneakers buying them for shoe boxes. That's what they're intended for, is for shoe boxes. I just use them for hats and shit like that. So I'm just here to provide the information to you guys. I don't sell none of this stuff personally. I don't sell workbenches. I don't sell totes to hold t-shirts. I buy them from the same stores that you guys go to, man. When you're out at Home Depot or Lowe's or wherever you're at, think outside the box. Think about what would benefit you in your workspace. Just because something is called a workbench doesn't mean it can't hold a heat press. Just because some totes or bins are made for garden tools or towels or whatever it is, think about what you could use the shit for. Don't just get mad at me because the shit's sold out or they don't sell it no more. I've been doing this shit for a long time. Streamlining my process and my workflow is something that I'm always trying to do better at. Make things easier on myself. So if it's getting bins that have a lid that comes down towards the front to make it easy for me to grab shit, that's making something easy on myself. So like I said, don't get mad at me, man. I'm just providing the information to you guys on all the shit I use. It's like this Mac. If fucking Apple stops selling this Mac, I have no control over it, right? That's just what I use. I bought it at the time. That's what I use to design my shit. That's what I use to edit my videos. It's just what works for myself. Do you need a Mac? Nah, you can use a PC, you can use any computer. That's just what I prefer. But if they stop selling it, I have no control over the shit. You know what I mean? So I'm pretty sure this information doesn't help anybody out because there's no solution to those bins that I use. There's no solution to the workbenches. I mean, you could look on OfferUp and Craigslist to see if you could find those bins. Like I said, they're made by Rubbermaid. I believe they were called drop front totes or drop front bins. The hat boxes are actually shoe boxes, and those are from the Container Store. So just go on to the Container Store website and see if they're in stock. But they're actually shoe boxes. They're the men's shoe boxes, not the women's. The women's ones are smaller. Men's shoe boxes, they fit hats, they fit t-shirts, fold up whatever you want in there. Pretty sure you could find something similar on Amazon for those things. And then the workbenches, like I said, Costco, Sam's Club, Lowe's, Home Depot. Type in 6-foot workbench, see what pops up, measure out your heat press and make sure that it'll fit. I use 6-foot by 2-foot tables. My heat presses fit on there perfect. This computer fits on there perfect. My vinyl cutter fits on there. Toolbox fits on there. There's all kind of shit that fit on the workbench. So prices vary. I don't know what they charge for them shits. But when I bought these right here, I want to say they're like 70 to 80 bucks. I bought 2 of them. Get creative when you're looking for shit. And like I said, it's all about streamlining your workflow and your process to make shit easier on yourself. So catch you guys on the next one, man. Yep.